My job title is Editorial Assistant, and that means I work for 2 commissioning editors who buy books. I work for a commissioning editor who commissions fiction and one who commissions non-fiction. When my bosses buy the books, I then will read it and write the jacket copy for the book, as well as the cover brief for the designers, so we can come up with a good cover. I also am in charge of circulating the covers around the company to make sure everyone gets approval. And there's also things like submissions, managing submissions from agents, making sure they get read and responded to as quickly as possible. And just responding generally to sort of admin tasks and making sure things are logged. It's quite a varied job. I tend to, when I get in, just go through mountains and mountains of emails, and then I will make sure that the covers that I've got on my desk are being circulated and that authors are happy with them, and I'll make sure that any books that have come in will be circulated around the company as well as to the authors and the agents. I'll respond to any queries from other members of the departments about the books, maybe about the content, maybe about the cover. And just generally be on hand to help out my bosses if they've got anything that needs to be done. But the one that springs to mind is this one by Colin McCann, which it's just a really phenomenal book, and he's an exceptional writer, and I love the design, and he is wonderful to work with. And we also did something really interesting when we published it, in that we published it simultaneously as a trade paperback, which meant that we could be more creative about the design, which was really fun. So that was really good. But the other one that springs to mind is the collection of short stories by Daniel Mwednin, because every day when we were putting this jacket together and putting the book together, we got a new quote from amazing writers, and part of my job is to send out proof copies, try and get a buzz about this book to the rest of the world and to writers, so we can put these quotes on the jacket. And we got quotes for this book from Mohsin Hamid, Nadim Islam, David Davidar, Anita Desai, William Dalrymple, Manal Suri, and that was just really fun because sometimes it's difficult to get one, and we got about 10. So that was good. And also Margaret Atwood, because she's amazing. If I had the skills, I'd probably like to work in design, because I think that would be incredibly intriguing and fun, doing the picture research. And covers are so important that it would be incredibly interesting to see what would work and what doesn't. But the other side of things, which I find fascinating, is production. Actually, getting the paper right, making sure the finishes work, and liaising with the printers. That would be good. That's very hard because there's so many different books. But at the moment, because I've only recently discovered her, I would say I'd take a collection of Angela Carter's fairy tales, just because she's such a brilliant writer and she is so original that I think she'd keep me entertained.